your ruler,
Salt.
your lands, your possessions, your very lives will gladly be given in tribute to me.
What's up, guys? So this video is going to be about the whole James Gunn plans for the DCU and the controversy. Sorry I'm squinting so much, it's just that the heater has dried out my eyes so much that I can barely keep them open, because the freaking heater is running non-stop because of the cold weather, so it constantly kicks on and sucks all of the moisture out of the air, and so my eyes are fucked. Anyways, so the whole thing is basically, for years and years and years, people have wanted Henry Cavill back as Superman, me included. We've also wanted the Snyderverse reinstated. The Snyderverse is, like, it's connected to Henry Cavill primarily because the first introduction to the Snyderverse was Henry Cavill's first outing as Superman in Man of Steel. So we figured when the news broke that Henry Cavill was coming back as Superman, that it also meant the Snyderverse was coming back, so everyone was happy. I personally think that Henry Cavill is the best Superman, and the whole situation is really messed up because literally, not only has a lot of people wanted this for so long, this Warner Brothers, this studio, told Henry Cavill, not only did he get a cameo at the end of Black Adam, but the studio then told him to go ahead and make a video announcing to everyone that he's coming back as Superman. So after his cameo, he then also made a video on Instagram and announced his return as Superman, only for 2 months later for them to completely change their mind and say, oh, well, we're scrapping you as Superman, we're scrapping the whole DCEU, we're going to start over with James Gunn, and that's going to solve everything. And this has created a firestorm of heat on James Gunn, not totally unwarranted, because he is the one that put himself in the position telling Warner Brothers that I can redo the whole DCU, and I can redo the whole DC universe and make it successful. He's the one that convinced him that he could do that, and which I'm not convinced of, because he already made a DC Universe movie in the form of the Suicide Squad, and that honestly wasn't that much better than the first one, if at all better. The Suicide Squad was a mediocre movie. It was a mediocre movie. There was only a couple good parts of that movie, and that doesn't. It was the whole reason James Gunn got the Suicide Squad in the first place is because the first Suicide Squad was considered a mediocre failure, even though some people liked it. But and then he put out the equivalent of the same quality. Like, he didn't do that much better. Like, so this whole idea that he's gonna completely, yeah, he did well with Marvel, he did well with Guardians of the Galaxy, but from what we've seen him do of DC Universe, he hasn't done that great. He has the Suicide Squad. I wasn't even that big of a fan of it. I thought the movie was on the same par as the one with Will Smith. Honestly, I don't think it was that great. But anyways, so then on top of that, he decided that his new DC universe cannot work with Henry Cavill as Superman, so then he fired him. And so now there's all this heat on him to lay out his plans for the DC universe. And I don't know, I don't want to be unfair to the guy, because he is a Hollywood type, and they are weirdos, and he has had his controversy in the past. So there is already a kind of stigma around the guy, but I do like that he likes Chris Pratt. I do like that he's friendly with Chris Pratt. I do like that he's friendly with Zachary Levi. I do like that he did a really good job with the Guardians of the Galaxy series. So anyway, so I'm just gonna play this video and let him lay out his plans for the new DC universe without Henry Cavill and without Ben Affleck and without Jason Momoa and, you know, The Rock and blah blah blah, everyone else who got axed, and Gal Gadot, everyone who got axed. We'll play this video and then we'll get into the continuing controversy that has now happened after this video, that is now going on. So hold on, let me pull this up. There we go. And
hey everybody, I'm James Gunn. I'm the co-CEO of DC Studios. So as many of you know, DC has been disconnected in film and television for a long time. And it's one of, our jobs, mine and Peter's, is to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and it works within one story. And if something is outside of that, like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that it is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds, outside of the mainstream DCU continuity. Now, Peter and I have gotten pretty lucky in terms of the 4 projects that are coming out over the next year. First, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well. That moves directly into The Flash, a fantastic movie that I really love, that resets the entire DC universe. Then to move into Blue Beetle, a fantastic film about a kid who's a marvelous part of the DCU, and then into Aquaman 2, which leads directly into our next.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop because I'm gonna lose if I let him if I finish this video and save it for the end. I'm gonna lose these thoughts. So I really like that they're keeping Zachary Levi as Shazam. I really like that. The problem is he just came up with some asinine excuse of why, oh yeah, he can still be Shazam because he never joined the main DC expanded universe cast. He never came from over here and came and joined, Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and the Flash and Aquaman. He never, and Cyborg. He never did that. So it works. No, it doesn't work because at the end of the first movie, Henry Cavill's Superman shows up. Henry Cavill's Superman. Not only is that Henry Cavill's Superman suit, even if you don't see his face, but earlier in the movie, when the kids are looking at the scrapbooks, it's clearly Ben Affleck's Batman in those pictures and the Batarang that he found, and it's clearly Henry Cavill's Superman. So I'm friends with Zachary Levi, so I'll come up with a reason why we can keep him as Shazam, which I'm totally for. I'm totally for Zachary Levi staying as Shazam. But I just think it's asinine when it just proves that you unnecessarily got rid of Henry Cavill. And then at the same time, he just said they're going to go ahead and continue and release. They're going to go ahead and release Ezra Miller's Flashpoint Flash film, right? So we're going to get that Ezra Miller Flash is going to go to the theaters, which is asinine. It's asinine that they're going to release Ezra Miller's Flash movie. But they are. And it's a storyline where it's Flashpoint and time travel and multiverses and blah, blah, blah. On the plus side, we're going to get to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. But on the negative side, it's like, dude, you're making no sense right now another reason why Henry Cavill can stay Superman is because you're using the already established DC universe as a reset. It's like, if you're gonna start over, start over. Pretend like the last universe never happened, right? Start completely fresh. But no, you're not doing that. You're using Ezra Miller's movie as, oh, that's a reset. It's restarting the timeline. Which is another, it just proves that Henry Cavill can come back as Superman. And not only that, in the comics, there can be more than one Superman at a time. There can be more than one actor playing Superman at a time. Like, there's multiverses. There's Supermans on infinite Earths. Just like how you can have in the Arrowverse, there was Brandon Routh. There Brandon, what, I don't know what's that one dude's name? The dude from Teen Wolf, I don't remember his name. But anyways, he's playing Superman simultaneously while Brandon Routh is also playing Superman. Simultaneously, while in the cinematic universe, it was still recognized that Henry Cavill was gonna eventually be Superman again, right? So that's three different actors playing Superman, all in the same, period. It could be that way again. You still got the dude from Teen Wolf playing Superman and Superman and Lois. You could have your new young Superman that you want to do, and you could also have Henry Cavill back as his Superman in the already established DC expanded universe. So it's even again stupid that they got rid of him, while also keeping Ezra Miller and Zachary Levi. It's good that they're keeping Zachary Levi, but it's like, you're keeping Ezra Miller? Really? Come on. Really? Anyways. So I don't know. So I'm not trying to be critical on this guy, but it just doesn't make sense. The decisions being made. The flip-flopping, the fickleness, the
next few projects, which I'm going to tell you about now. So,
right,
Peter and I, along with a group of very talented writers, have started to map out an 8 to 10 year plan of what DC Studios will be in film, television, and gaming. This first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. Now, what I'm about to tell you, is a part of the first chapter. It's not the entire first chapter. The first project is Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is an animated series. I've written all the episodes. Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action. The next project
kind of
up
a cool
is
concept.
Waller. This is a story of Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. Viola Davis is going to team up with members of Team Peacemaker, and this is a story that's been created by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who created the Doom Patrol. It is a fantastic story.
Nobody wants a show
world, and I can't wait for people
revolving around Amanda Waller.
Next up is the big one, the true beginning of the DCU. This is called Superman Legacy. This is being written by me. I'm in the middle of it. I'm having a great time doing it. And Superman will be released into theaters July 11th, 2025. Okay, the next thing is a big premiere HBO television series called Lanterns. This is a story of a couple of Green Lanterns, John Stewart and Hal Jordan, and we have a few other Lanterns peppered in there, but this is really a terrestrial-based TV show, which is almost like True Detective, with a couple of Green Lanterns who are space cops watching over Precinct Earth. In it, they discover a terrifying mystery that ties into our larger story of the DCU. Next is a big movie called The Authority. The Authority is a passion project of mine. It's based on the marvelous Wildstorm characters we are now bringing into the DCU and will interact with all of our primary DCU characters. The Authority are a group of superheroes who think the world is broken and they want to fix it by any means necessary. I think it's a very different look at superheroes. We're doing a television series called Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost is the story of Paradise Island, usually known as Themyscira, which is the birthplace of Wonder Woman. It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, but with all of the inhabitants of Paradise Island. The introduction of the
Bro. I will say that the Green Lantern show sounded kind of cool, like, because Green Lanterns are like super powered universal detectives. They're detectives of the universe, right? But the way he's presenting stuff is like is just odd. It's like Green Lanterns is not true detective, dude. And Wonder Woman and the Amazons are not Game of Thrones. There's no Game of Thrones on Themyscira. There's only one queen, and that's Diana's mother. And it's not Game of Thrones. No one's warring for the throne. It's all just Amazon women living in peace. I don't know, man. It's like, I mean, I guess they occasionally fight some of the Greek, some of the Greek pagan gods, but they occasionally fight those. But just as, I don't know, man. I'm not getting the vibe that he's enough of a DC Universe fan to be shaping the entire DC Universe. With maybe he's just trying to relate, like, with these references for people unfamiliar, but I don't think anyone unfamiliar is going to be going out of their way to find your 10-year plan for the DC Universe on Twitter. So why are you referencing True Detective and Game of Thrones?
The DCU's Batman is The Brave and the Bold. The Brave and the Bold is the story of Batman and his actual son, Damian Wayne. This is based on Grant Morrison's great comic book run.
That does sound like a good
Robin. He's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line, and so this is the story of the two of them and the beginning of sort of the Bat family in the DCU. Next up is a TV series called Booster Gold. Booster Gold is one of comics' really popular cult heroes. He is a fascinating guy. He's a loser from the future who uses future technology to come back to present day and become a superhero so that people will love him.
Here's the thing, though. The reason it's exciting for the Batman thing, the Batman project that he just said, is because we've never had that explored in live action before. The whole romance between Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, and the offspring that they have together, Damian Dark, who becomes one of the Robins, Bruce Wayne's son, and also Booster Gold. We've never had, outside of corny stuff like Smallville and stuff, we've never had Booster Gold. So this could be.
It is basically the superhero story of imposter syndrome on an HBO Max series. One of my favorite comic book series from last year was Tom King's run on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And so we're going to turn that into a big science fiction epic film.
Whoop-de-doo,
now,
Supergirl
Superman
movie.
is a guy who was sent to Earth and raised
After
by
10 years
parents,
of a
where Supergirl
TV show.
in this story, she is a character who was raised on a chunk of Krypton. She watched everybody around her perish in some terrible way. So she's a much more jaded character. And that brings me to Swamp Thing, the last thing we're going to talk about, a very dark horror story in the origins of the monster who is Swamp Thing. And although it's totally outside of the rest of the DCU,
I don't know. The Supergirl, like, you know, the problem is, this could be a good presentation had the it not been done in this way. Like this, I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to be optimistic because this presentation is not bad. But the problem is you're giving it to us after causing, like, in better circumstances than what's taken place. This would be like, oh yay, this sounds cool. We're all excited for us. But you just destroyed it. You just destroyed something that we wanted, and now you're giving us this. If there was nothing there already, and you're like, oh, I don't know. It's hard to explain what I mean.
It will still feed into the rest of the stories. Anyway, those are the stories that I can tell you about right now. I've loved the DC characters since I was a child. They're incredibly important to me.
I believe you.
I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do something
Maybe so,
very different. One of the things that's very important for me in all of these movies and TV series is that the director's vision and the vision of the writers and all of the creators is unique and something special. Storytelling is always king. That's all that matters to us. And I want to be true to those stories. I want to be true to you guys and really give you something different than you've ever seen before. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I hope this was exciting for you because it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to start to dive into these stories with you guys on this grand adventure. Thank you so much.
You know, it's like this presentation that he just gave would be like way more well received if like, for example, it's like this presentation. I'm trying to figure out how to like succinctly put this. You unnecessarily fired Henry Cavill. Here's what you could have done. Warner Brothers. Hey, Warner Brothers. I'm James Gunn. I'm known to be talented, and I've known to do good stuff. I've done good stuff in the past, like the entire Guardians of the Galaxy series, blah blah blah. Hey, I'm James Gunn. I can fix the DC universe. Will you let me come be the Kevin Feige of the DC universe, right? Warner Brothers. Oh yeah, okay, we'll let you do that. Well, let me fire Henry Cavill and completely get rid of him as Superman, because the only way my Superman can exist and be accepted is if Henry Cavill is gone, which makes no sense because we still got what's his name, Tyler Laughlin. I'm the Teen Wolf guy, playing Superman on TV. Is James Gunn gonna cancel Superman and Lois too because he only wants his Superman to exist? Maybe Superman and Lois gets canceled because James Gunn wants it canceled. I don't know. But here's what he could have done. Not fired Henry Cavill. Said, okay, well, here's how we're going to structure the DC universe. The Snyderverse is going to continue on in parallel to my new DC universe that I'm creating. And they're all going to exist in multiverses. And then when he presented this video, everyone would have been like, yay, right? All this stuff that he just said that he seems so passionate about, all of these things that he's making, he can continue on to make them, and it'll all be fucking awesome. But no, instead, he's like, oh, let me crush the hope that we just gave you 2 months ago of Henry Cavill and the Snyderverse finally getting its due justice, because only my palette can exist, right? But that's not the case. You can have multiverses. Oh no, we don't have the budget for it. Okay, well then just spread it out, right? Spread it out more. Your Superman movie's not coming out till 2025 anyways, so structure it so it's not too close together, So I don't know, man, it's great. Anyways, I haven't even touched on the controversy that's happened since since this presentation he made. So since then, on Twitter, it's been trending, "Fire James Gunn," right? That's been trending, which I'm not anti-James Gunn. I just don't understand what's going on over at Warner Brothers, and I don't want to put all the blame on him because we don't know, or I can't say for certain that he's the one making the definitive decisions to like get rid of Henry Cavill and not restore the Snyderverse. But it is. I think all of us can honestly say that we're all sick of Warner Brothers shit. I think we can all honestly say that. And the other thing that is going on, which with Snyder, or not Snyder, James Gunn, is because James Gunn is receiving all this heat, he's decided to get snarky with the fans. He's decided to get snarky with the fans and make a Twitter poll whether or not Superman should have trunks or not. Right? And then after the Twitter poll was over, he's like, well, I'm not going to base my decision on a silly Twitter poll. Right? It's like, well, why are you being snarky, dude? Why'd you even ask us? So you can make your own personal vendetta or against Elon? Are you trying to make like a facsimile to the Elon situation? Like, dude, you're making us like you less. Anyways, that's stupid. Don't ask us if you're not going to actually do what we want. And the majority of OG fans, as much as we like Henry Cavill Superman, we would prefer a Superman with trunks. But to be fair to Henry Cavill Superman, it looked fine without trunks. It did take some adjusting. It did take some getting used to, but the darkness and the color palette of the costume, it works. But a Superman with trunks would be nice also. But anyways, why ask if you're gonna disregard? And that's what he did. He asked, he got the poll results, and then he blatantly disregarded it. He's like, well, just so you know, guys, I'm not basing my decision out off of this. Why did you ask? And then wait until after everyone voted. It's like, dude, you're already in hot water. Shut your mouth. Anyways, appreciate you guys for watching this video, and please like, subscribe, and all that, and please follow me on Twitter. And peace out, guys.